Something else I want you to consider is that play has different stages. Because sometimes I've heard parents say, well, I know play is important, but my child doesn't play, Sharon. But it may be that we're thinking about play in a very narrow, in a very certain way. And we might want to consider that there are different kinds of play. One stage of play is sensory exploratory play. And that's one of the earliest forms of play. It happens when kids are using their senses, like their touch, their sight, the sound, movement, smell, and taste, to discover how objects and materials, how they feel, how they move, how they sound and behave. Children at this stage aren't necessarily trying to build something or follow rules. Instead, they are exploring, experimenting, and learning about the world through hands-on experiences. So think about the sensory of touch. I know that I had some slime here, but it has disappeared. But you know what slime is and Play-Doh. Kids are touching it, they feel it, or even something like this is exploratory play, where it's like I push it and that bubble happens. Like, that's cool. Or running their hands through sand, or exploring water, or feeling different fabrics, or finger painting. That's sensory exploratory play using touch and texture. And then there's movement and motion. So kids sometimes just like watching wheels turn, or they really like swinging, or jumping on a trampoline, or rocking in a chair, or rolling down a hill. Sometimes another way is sound exploration, like something like they may really enjoy something like this. They might just really like that sound. And they might do it over and over because of that exploration of sound. Or they might take some blocks or toys and just bang them together. They're exploring that world of different sounds. Or they might want to explore objects. So sometimes what they love to do is fill and dump containers. So they might fill a container up, then dump it, and then fill it up again, over and over. And then there's visual exploration. Sometimes the kids just like to look at the light, or they like to look at something that's moving. Or sometimes they like to look at, if you put sparkles in a bottle and then shake it and just watch those sparkles move. So that is sensory and exploratory play. There's another stage called cause-effect play. Cause-effect play happens when the child discovers that their actions make something happen. They learn that when they do something, there's a predictable result. So, for example, we all know these type of play. I push that, and the bear pops up. I push this one, something else pops up. These are called cause-effect. Or it's really fun to know what your child's sensory preferences are. So if your child really has that visual sensory preference, we might choose some cause-effect toys that take in those sensory preferences. So with this, they push and they see all of the little balls pop up. Or some of these have a really fun spinning sensation to it. I used to have these wonderful block sets that you would you sort a block in a tube, and as the block goes down, it would say something like, it would whistle. And the child would do that over and over because they really enjoyed hearing that noise. So if I knew that my child really enjoyed music and sounds, then I would make sure that I am choosing toys that really home in on their sensory preferences, which for that example would be on auditory. There also, another stage is functional play. Functional play is when children use toys and objects in the way that they're designed to use. So they're learning what things do, how they work, and what they're used for in everyday life. For example, driving a truck down a pretend road, putting it on an incline and letting it fall and drive downwards. Uh, feeding, feeding a doll with a spoon. There you go, Dolly. Or giving her a drink and then maybe tucking her into bed. Those are all examples of functional play. Then another stage is pretend, imaginative play. Pretend play is when children begin to use their imagination to create ideas, stories, and make believe situations. At this point in time, they might use this, whatever it is, as a phone. Oh, hello. Yes. No, 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 no. I don't sell McDonald's. No, this is not McDonald's. We sell ice cream. Okay? Whatever. Or they might use a cardboard box as the spaceship. Taking off, Mars, here we come. Or they pretend that they're a doctor, a chef, or a superhero, or whatever their favorite character is. That is pretend imaginative play. Another stage is cooperative play. Cooperative play is when children play together with a shared purpose or goal. So no longer are they playing side by side or in parallel, they're playing for the purpose of being together. So they may be building a block tower together or working together to build a train track or playing soccer, basketball. So when you think of the stages, the reason I bring them up is that sometimes we are trying to engage our children, perhaps in cooperative play, where we want them to play with their friends, when maybe they're at the sensory exploratory stage of play. So that we have to consider, what stage is my child at, and then follow where they're at. It's also important to think that your child does not need to play typically to grow meaningfully. Different play styles can still build powerful developmental pathways. Play is not about doing things correctly. It's about exploration, shared attention, creativity, regulation, patience, practice, and emotional safety. Play matters more than performance. For many children with autism, social pressure can feel overwhelming. If we focus only on eye contact or sitting properly or taking turns perfectly or playing the right way, we may unintentionally create anxiety instead of connection. Instead, play should feel like, oh, you enjoy me. You understand me. You are safe. My interests matter. When children feel understood, Their brains are more available for learning, interaction, communication, and flexibility. Sometimes we worry so much about helping children perform socially that we accidentally skip the foundation of connection. And we want to shift that lens because before children develop broader social skills, they need that safety, joy, shared experiences, and responsive partner because it's through connection that they grow skills, not the other way around. So, in finale, one of the best ways to encourage your child's play, and you really don't have to do a lot of thinking about it, is that follow what they're interested in. Join their world first. It truly is powerful. You enter your child's world before expecting them to enter yours. This means, what do we have to do? We just have to watch. What captures your child's attention? Are they spinning something, sorting, pretend play, doing something repetitively? Okay, but now that you've watched and you see what your child is interested in, you're ready to join in. Very importantly, though, is join without taking over. So if they're lining up cars, grab a car and you line up one too. If they love dinosaurs, you become curious in dinosaurs as well. If they repeat scenes from movie, join the script. Very important is that joining does not mean controlling. You're saying to your child through your actions is that, I see you, honey. Your interests matter. I want to connect with you. And that builds trust. So what do social skills really mean? As I've said, sometimes social skills are misunderstood. Many people can assume that social success means making eye contact, speaking frequently, large friendships, group participation, traditional play styles, where in fact social skills may actually include shared enjoyment, safe communication, knowing boundaries, recognizing trusted people, expressing needs, playing beside someone comfortably, deep special interest friendships, and regulating during interaction. It is important to remember that our goal is not to force neurotypical social behavior. Our goal is to help children connect authentically. Instead of, how do I make my child more social? We can consider, how do I support meaningful connection in ways that fit my child? So thank you for taking your time to participate in this video. I hope that something resonated with you. Bottom line is, please have fun playing. And through your playing with your child, you're promoting your child's development and having a ton of fun in the process. Have fun playing.